Whenever it comes to picking which product concepts to focus on, creative types and first-time software businesses are often compelled to design an innovative product that would set them apart. But have you ever heard the expression, "there is no such thing as a unique idea"? It exists in the public mind like many other things because there is some justice to it. Some ideas strike like a bolt of lightning out of nowhere, or so it seems. However, a deeper examination of the data reveals that the ideas were sparked by other circumstances and inputs. Observing the evolution of the planet and how completely diverse cultures, isolated from one another, have created comparable technologies over time is a fantastic illustration of this. The smartest ideas have a little something extra, but how can you build on this and then use it to produce a fantastic company concept? Number 1. Don't go hunting for ideas that haven't been tested before. Entrepreneurs are frequently trapped in the stage of developing business concepts that do not yet exist on the market. If this method works, there's a chance you'll be able to develop a profitable company. However, the number of successful businesses who use this method is very low. This technique requires you to devote time, money, and effort into creating something that does not exist and does not ensure your future business success. What happens if no one is interested in that market? Entrepreneurs that are astute don't take a chance on anything that isn't certain to succeed. As a result, whether you're a small business owner or a startup entrepreneur, don't strive to create a product that hasn't been explored before. Leave it to major corporations with the resources to compensate for their own failings to create something new. However, if they are successful, you may copy their business idea to mimic their success in your own company. Number 2. Be wary of the price of being ahead of the curve. When seeking inspiration, time and distance are excellent starting points. Let's start with the present. The issue is that you must first educate the market on how your concept functions prior to actually attempting to sell it. There are several benefits to having a first-mover advantage, but there are also numerous drawbacks. You frequently have to create everything from scratch and in novel ways. People may be unprepared for the concept, and technology may be unable to support it. If you want your company to thrive in today's environment, marketing is a critical component. There are currently over 7.5 billion people on the earth, and billions of enterprises provide thousands upon thousands of different products and services. No matter how wonderful your company concept is, if you want to be heard above the din, you'll need an efficient and proactive marketing strategy in place to reach your target audience. As a result, if you want to pursue a completely new business concept, marketing is an additional cost to bear, which is not the case if you develop an old concept. So, instead of being on the forefront of technology, it's better to be behind it when starting a firm. Examine the ideas and businesses that are gaining momentum in your industry, things that individuals are aware of and for which they have set aside cash. A booming market with little competition where you may make a meaningful difference if you time it correctly. Thinking back, consider what has been tried in the past but failed because the world was not fit for it. What has changed in terms of technology and public sentiment to make it now possible? Number 3. Breakthroughs have the potential to convert failed ideas into fresh achievements. The internet and globalization have made it possible to carry out many initiatives that would not have been possible otherwise, as well as lowering costs through the use of applications. Ski tracking kits are an excellent illustration of this. A ski tracking system was once a ridiculously costly piece of equipment that hardly anyone could afford, and had to be carried in a backpack to accommodate the massive battery. The user had to download the data at the end of the week, and it was really awkward to use. As a result of these restrictions, the firm making them failed to take off and the concept died. However, because of technology advancements such as smartphones and apps, ski trackers have emerged that are now accessible to a much bigger audience with a considerably better interface. So you should wonder if there was anything in your field of interest that was ahead of its time and didn't work the very first time around. Is now the time for its chance to shine? Number 4. Take an old concept and into a modern setting. Another fruitful aspect to think about is place. It's something you see food businesses do all the time. They traverse the globe to keep up with the newest trends and to acquire new and fascinating dishes. Vietnamese cuisine is now experiencing a zeitgeist, which is exciting and delicious, but who knows what future may bring. While we adore it, it is clearly not fresh to the market from which it originated. It's not simply the food that varies from country to country. Attitudes to business can be starkly different. Some businesses specialize in transferring current concepts from one nation to another in the hopes of being acquired by a major corporation such as Amazon or Google. Smaller, fascinating specialty firms, on the other hand, have plenty of room to innovate based on existing business ideas. Number 5. Find your hero and take fantastic ideas from a variety of sectors. Looking at various sectors closer to home is a wonderful method to acquire ideas on how to enhance your performance. So what does another industry do that you might learn from? Everybody has idols they wish to imitate. They want to look like them, live like them, act like them, and work like them. You must seek out successful entrepreneurs or businesses to follow in your own business. The goal is to identify someone who has already achieved the accomplishment you desire. Make a list of potential entrepreneurs and firms to employ in the process's subsequent phases. Spend a bit more time observing your idols when you've found and chosen them. Fill in the blanks about your idols. What are they doing to ensure the success of their company? What is the step-by-step method that leads to their success? How do they promote their company, products, and services? What kind of behavior do they have? To discover the secrets of their success, study them and find the answers to these questions. Number 6. Copy the greatest ideas to create your own one-of-a-kind masterpiece. We suggest that you make a monster. Not a horrible one, but one that involves assembling a variety of components from various concepts to create what you want in the spirit of Dr. Frankenstein. You may take the greatest elements from many eras, locations, and industries and combine them into one amazing product. You can make something out of the greatest portions by utilizing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. To create a meaningful change in your business, start with a very solid core concept that has a market, and then add in the extra expertise and ideas from outside. This remixing not only helps you make the most of what you have, but it also helps you to reuse pieces of what you've already created, those ideas you were going to toss because they didn't pan out. Examine them once more to see what you might employ for your new project. There will be a lot you won't be able to utilize, and pieces of others you'll want to avoid, but there may be 1 or 2 gems that will make all the difference. So keep your eyes open and feel free to expand on what's currently available. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants, said Isaac Newton. For example, a single song might be reproduced by several artists throughout decades and yet generate hits that are recognized as songs in their own right and as art by that singer each time. Obviously, a splash of magic has been thrown to the original, resulting in a much more unique end product. That magic is the originality with which you approach the notion you're replicating. Number 7. Strategies for reinventing concepts. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, how do we go about reproducing ideas without making them copies of the original? How are we going to figure out where the line between copying and being creative is? Here are 2 methods for determining these answers cautiously. Method number 1. Retain most of the original. You need to retain the core of the product, say 80%, while completely rethinking 20% of it. Be vigilant here, since choosing the proper 20% to reinvent is critical. Differentiation should ideally be baked into the center of the product rather than on the exterior. Within the first 30 seconds of using the item, the end user must see and experience something different. Method number 2, the blue ocean strategy technique. In a nutshell, this approach works by searching beyond traditional alternatives for a certain particular product or service and augmenting it with perks that only the alternative can supply, resulting in the creation of a unique type of product with limited competition. Both of these strategies use the concept of remixing a previous idea by using it to construct the cornerstone of your fresh concept, then altering or stylizing it such that its technique and appearance are completely new. One last note to make. While your product concept shouldn't be fully unique, it doesn't mean you should portray and advertise it as a knockoff of another product. Marketing and packaging your items is a separate art form. So what are your thoughts on this? Is your company a knockoff or a one-of-a-kind enterprise that copies and pastes and builds on the work of others? Even if it is based on other people's ideas and achievements, we believe you can have an original business. What else would you like us to talk about in our upcoming videos? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our videos.